Hi fam, our latest again will be about Julius Malema and Floyd Shivambu. They are saying that they are tired of being dragged in the media regarding the VBS issue. They deny any involvement in looting pensioners' funds. When this story started to trend again 2 days ago, Malema posted on Twitter and said that people must go back to the archives because he has already responded to the story. Floyd Shivambu on the other side said, "We are being distracted from something big since this issue of VBS has been brought back." In the next slide, please listen to what they said a while ago when responding to VBS looting allegations. And that's all we have for now. Please remember to also leave your comments down below and let us know of your take regarding this. That will be all from me. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you again next time. Bye.
That is with regard to OnPoint in Limpopo. So the VBS matter, right? I've never spoken to VBS people. The person I know in VBS and do not know that much about that person is Matodzi, the chairperson of Vele, who was introduced to me at the party of the Bavenda King, Wompepo. So I've never had any dealings with them. This is very simple, Samgel. When a case is opened, the Hawks have got access to all our forms of communication. They can even apply Section 205, get it from the judge, go into the history of our phones. In this case, they've done, by the way, with the VBS colleagues who are arrested. Nowhere will you ever find me in any form of communication with any of the VBS people.
But it's not about communication for you with the VBS people.
No.
There is a bank card, Mr. Malema.
We're coming to that. Yes, we're coming to that. I get it, we're building a case. Okay. So,
Julius, sorry, hold on. I want to go back to the issue around the VBS people that you never had contact with.
Yes.
Then one needs to ask, why was it then? Did you never wonder why they found EFF to be strategic all along? Because that's kind of what the communication has been. When you look at Paulie van Wyck's stories, which, by the way, I understand her stance for her deciding not to come. I absolutely get it. I think it's sad because there are many questions. She's led the story of VBS and would have been great to have her in the room. But I also understand why she made a decision not to. But coming back to...
Surely you can't say you were not interested or not bothered on that 50 million rands contract because it impacted on your financial and economic upward mobility in life, because surely as a shareholder of OnPoint Engineers through Ratanang, you would get some sort of proceeds from the profits that would be generated on that contract.
It's a common cause. It's undisputed. So why do you want to canvass the grounds that are not disputed? I'm a shareholder in OnPoint. I got money on OnPoint. Madonsela makes that point. So the matter of whether OnPoint got a tender rightfully or wrongly is now before court. All I'm saying is you cannot have a tender of 50 million, collapse a province of a budget of 47 billion. So the intention has always been to smear me, to delegitimize me, so that I do not add my voice in the anti-corruption project of the country. So Castle was the premier, Pinky was the MEC, Masondo was the MEC. All these people who presided over that government are today ministers or deputy ministers in the clean government. The dark cloud of having collapsed the government of Limpopo remains with me, who has never been in government. But where, Samkel, maybe you'll teach me, where have you ever been, where have you ever seen a situation rather, where the corrupt get charged, but there is no the corruptee? No one is charged from government, the collapsed government of Limpopo. The person who has enabled that corruption in Limpopo. In the indictment on OnPoint, nowhere do they say Malema bribed this one or that one in order to get the tender. So if I influenced the tender, since I was not in government, who did I influence? And what was the power of this person? And why is this person not charged? If the matter is legitimate and want to resolve the problem of corruption. That is with regard to OnPoint in Limpopo.
The issue of Paulie van Wyck and Malema is that the story which she wrote yesterday or 2 days ago. It's the same thing she wrote the first time. I think she has in November last year. It's 7 or 6 articles now. They are repeating the same thing. And we have clarified that. And we have taken a decision that we do not want to really dignify things that are just repetitions. And the coincidence that we have identified is that every time the people that handled Daily Maverick and herself, like the Pravin Godans, are in trouble, they try to bring up the issue of VBS. There is absolutely nothing new. That is the same allegation that she came to make in the press conference of the EFF. So if you go and check the first press conference of the EFF that dealt with this issue of VBS, she asked about a company called Mauna and Grand Azania, and she actually even spoke about the payments in Durban and everything else there. So these are not new things. She just uses different headings, the same article, same content of the same things. And we have since clarified that the EFF has never been involved with VBS, and we've never benefited anything from VBS. And that is a final position. And the good thing about this is that not even one of the law enforcement agencies has ever brought an inquiry to the extent that seeks to question whether the EFF was involved or not, because they all have admitted that the EFF was not involved. Not the Reserve Bank, not the Hawks, not the NPA, not the special crimes process and court and everything else there. There is not a single law enforcement agency that is dignifying the imaginations of Paulie van Wyk and the Daily Maverick. It's their own creations because they want to create a public discourse that seek to delegitimize the integrity and standing of the EFF. And we're tired of clarifying nonsense. We're not going to do that as the EFF. We're busy. We're focusing on bigger battles that we know we're going to ultimately emerge victorious.